Tonight, we're hearing from an 11-year-old boy whose mother was shot and killed in Atlanta. Good evening. I'm Courtney Bryant. Tom and Christine have the night off. The shooting happened 7 months ago, and still no one is in custody for the mother's death. News Edge reporter Alex Whitler has her son's message.
The child says he's sharing this tonight with the hope someone knows something about who killed his mother. He says maybe then he'll be able to sleep at night.
If they are away in prison and locked up for what they did, that will make my world a whole lot brighter, because I know I'm safe from, murderers and people who harm my mother.
And it's interesting how people just call this a community and it goes unchecked. Yeah, the Sun community, yeah, the community this, the community that. We need community franchisement. This is a community? Listen, this happens 5 times a day in the country. 6 times a day in this country. Just with the kids being orphaned by their mom getting knocked off. That's not counting all the other murders. Just the moms. And people get to just go around and call it a community. Community this, community that. And then when I say, wait a second, this isn't a community, people look at me like I got 4 eyes and 7 ears. It's just like, this is not a community. There's nothing communal about it. This plea this little boy's making means nothing to everyone. This doesn't move anybody. No one, there's no group of women that's going to cry when they see, no sisters going to cry, tear up when they see this. I bet you could secretly record 1,000 sisters watching this, and 2 of them will be crying. 2 of them might tear up. This don't move, son, people.
If they are away in prison and locked up for what they did, that will make my world a whole lot brighter, because I know I'm safe from, murderers and people who harm my mother.
When Zion was 10 years old, he and his 5-year-old sister were home when someone barged into their Atlanta apartment on Tuskegee Street and fatally shot their mother. The little boy called 911 around 7 that morning. Atlanta police found Centera Fields and her boyfriend's bodies inside their apartment December 18th, 2021.
And the brother, the community definitely don't care about, think about it, man. How many brothers get whacked out every day in this country? And this was like a year ago? 10,000 brothers been killed since this guy got killed. Murdered. The community, that's where I will give them a break. How can they even muster? A 5-year-old got killed 2 hours ago. 3-month-old was at a cookout and somebody sprayed it and hit the 3-month-old. This is every day, every city. This was 10 months ago. What do you do?
2021. 7 months later, Zion is 11 years old and trying to enjoy summer vacation like other young kids, but he says it's hard knowing no one has been charged for the murders.
He actually had to go in the room and see his mother laying dead in the floor. He couldn't go to sleep because every time he tried to close his eyes, he saw his mother.
The boy's father says it was important he share how difficult it's been since Santera's death. He hopes this glimpse into their nightmare will light a fire in someone to say something about who pulled the trigger.
I feel like society just looking at this as another black person dead, and that's meaningless.
Now, for the record, I didn't watch this video before I recorded. I didn't know this guy was going to say that. I had no idea he was going to say this. And salute for the dad. I mean, he got custody now. It is what it is. Is anybody going to send him a care package? Or because you know it's harder for men to raise kids. You know what I mean? We're not as good as it is. Is the community going to come together to help him out? Like, there's no community. This is not a community. This is just a bunch of people who share the same color and the same income bracket and the same housing options. It have made similar life and career choices, living in the same place.
I feel like society just looking at this as another black person dead, and that's meaningless because it has been too long, much too long for nothing to have occurred.
I did reach out to Atlanta police for the latest on this investigation. So far, I've not heard back, but as soon as we do, we'll be sure to update you. Reporting in Atlanta, Alex Whitler, Fox 5 News.
Alex, thanks.
One other mother who knows her pain all too well is Nija Hill. She's the mother of 16-year-old Siobhan Scruggs, shot and killed late last year outside Figures Park. A 15-year-old arrested and charged in that case. Well, this morning, surrounded by family and friends, Nija celebrated his life by placing an honorary street sign bearing his name, Siobhan J. Scruggs Way, just outside the park in the 1800 block of Allison Street.
And look, this little guy, he was into some stuff with some other little young guys, and things went left, and he ended up getting killed, and it was typical son teen drama, episodic drama going on here. But if you naming rec centers after Freddie Gray and George Floyd get 3 statues, 4 now, just did the video, he's got 4 statues. Why not? Why not name a street after this young, kid who was just out there doing what young son teens do? Why not? This is not a community, man. This is just a collection of people winging everything. I mean, they just winging it. And the only reason I can say something about it is because I know. Like, there's no direct, there's not, the situation is hopeless. Okay? They starting to name blocks after super gremlins, man. And then now the other group gonna come back and spray paint the sign or block out to take pictures defacing the sign. Take the whole community and throw it in the trash. But salute to this guy's mother. I hope this helps her heal.
Well, this morning, surrounded by family and friends, Nija celebrated his life by placing an honorary street sign bearing his name, Siobhan J. Scruggs Way, just outside the park in the 1800 block of Allison Street. She says it's been a long road and hopes it brings more awareness. Take a listen.
I fought not only for this to be something to remember him by. But I also fought for this to be a remembrance, a reminder to the young youth out here that you don't have to be a bad person. You know, you can be doing the right thing, but not aware of your surroundings. So I think it's very important to know what's going on around you. I think it's important to stay alert. And at this time, I think it's important to just choose your friends wisely.
You can be a good person. Think about that. This sister is not just proximal. She's in the thick of it. Like, she's in the trenches. She's knee deep in this. She ain't divested. She ain't looking at it from the outside. She ain't, you, why you talking about the community if you ain't part of it? She's all the way part of it. And her message to the kids, after, being in this community, if you look like maybe 40 years old, who knows, she might be 36. Her message is it's okay to be a good person. Because this generation of kids that were raised by the likes of her call themselves gremlins and demons and goblins and goonies. They refer to themselves as demons. No, not the KKK. Always try make a look bad. They be putting that. No, they call themselves demons. Their motto is everybody can get it. If you argue with one of them and you go and stand in front of a church with a whole bunch of old church ladies, that's not going to stop them from spraying the block. If you run inside of a nursery, that's not going to stop them from chasing you in there and spraying the room. They enjoy being evil. So I think her message is apropos. And maybe you'll take it from a sister with blonde tracks in her hair, a blonde hair hat. Maybe you'll take it from her.
I fought not only for this to be something to remember him by, but I also fought for this to be a remembrance, a reminder to the young youth out here that you don't have to be a bad person. You know, you can be doing the right thing, but not aware of your surroundings. So I think it's very important to know what's going on around you. I think it's important to stay alert. And at this time, I think it's important to just choose your friends wisely.
We have to stop the violence, and Siobhan was known in this community through these young kids. And so hopefully this will bring awareness that when they see the street named after them, that they say, hey, look, I'm going to continue. I'm going to do this, Siobhan. I'm going to graduate from high school, and I'm going to do the right thing, and I'm going to focus and get on the right track. And so hopefully this will bring awareness and also celebrate his life as well.
The family continues to thank the community for their support and making today a reality.
A deadly fire in Paulding County leaves 3 children dead. Good evening and thanks for joining us on Fox 5 News at 10. I'm Alex Whitler. Tonight, a woman is behind bars facing charges for the incident authorities call a domestic disturbance and house fire. Fox 5's Joy Dukes has more on what community members call a senseless tragedy.
A small memorial is growing just down the driveway from this home. We're told several children jumped out of the second-story window to escape. And several neighbors told us that they are heartbroken and in shock that something like this could happen so close to home.
I just don't know who would do that to their kids.
Well, you don't know who would do that to the kids? I don't know anybody who would do that to their kids personally, but this is a rough community, Jack. This is a rough community, man. This is why kids cry. You see the young men, they cry at the draft. They get drafted. Get the hell up out of here. You get to get you a pasty liberal college chick and get the heck up out of here and cut off all proximity, man. Personal assistant a glider, agent a glider, trainer a glider, agent, manager a glider, nutritionist a glider. Just get away from this. That's why you see so many tears at the NFL and NBA draft. And on college signing day. But when the Sun team get his record contract, you get to get away from here, man.
I just don't know who would do that to their kids.
While the investigation into a fire at this home on Woodwind Drive is ongoing, Paulding County residents are trying to process the tragic loss of 3 children who were inside at the time and died, allegedly, at the hands of the person who was supposed to protect them.
You just don't think things like that are going to happen.
Paulding County authorities say they received a call about the fire and...
Hold on, man. Not for nothing. Looks like she got away, man. Look like this sister got out the... I mean, it ain't nothing but gliders talking in this. The neighbors is all gliders, man. She got away from this, man. She got away from the community. She got her brood and got away from the community. And I told you this all the time. When you see a sister, when you see a for sale sign in your house, you need to find out who the real estate agent is that's selling that house. And you need to go have a stern talk with him and be like, under no circumstances do you let a sister move in here. Because if this doesn't happen, which is far rarer than the other thing that will happen, which is her bringing a psychopathic killer into your neighborhood under the guise of being her boyfriend or her baby daddy. Really, she buys a house in your neighborhood and it's a package deal. Unfortunately, with this one, sorry for the kids, but at least the neighbors weren't affected. Because when a sister moves into your neighborhood, she almost always brings some psychopath, some killer, some jailbird, some violent repeat offender with her. It's just what it is, man. So in this case, none of the neighbors were hurt. So this was actually a blessing.
Paulding County authorities say they received a call about the fire and a domestic disturbance at the home just after 9 o'clock Friday. They were told at the same time flames were growing inside the home. 40-year-old Darlene Brister was trying to stab the children.
I can't even imagine. I've got 8 kids, and I mean, kids get on your nerves and stuff like that, but you just don't do stuff. I mean, it's just the unimaginable situation.
Residents David and Robin Zerby recalled the chaotic scene just down the street from their home.
We thought they were searching for someone. We wished it was just searching for someone and not the news we found out this morning.
Yeah, these are my type of gliders. These are the type of gliders you got in my town. You could have a town with 500,000 of these gliders. And at the end of the year, you have 6 murders. No joke, man. At the end of the year, you have 6 murders. You have a lot of meth, a lot of different drugs, all that stuff, and stealing and bar fights and stuff. But you have 6 murders at the end of the year. And I promise you, these people ain't got no money. And I promise you, if their kid goes to college and graduates, he'll be the first person in the family to ever do it. And I promise you that these people are on some kind of assistance from the government, some kind of program, something welfare something. And I promise you that these people are not like snappy and quick-witted. But they're nice people and whatnot. But given their income bracket and their way of life and their station in life, a town of 500,000 of these people, according to what we say, since poverty causes this, should have 300, 400 murders. At least 200. They'll have 6 at the end of the year. If it was just all of them.
We thought they were searching for someone. We wished it was just searching for someone and not the news we found out this morning.
Another neighbor told Fox 5 they witnessed other residents trying to help some of the kids out of the home, while others jumped out of a second-story window.
I'm just glad they got out. For that woman to do that is just unbelievably selfish.
Yeah.
I mean, all she had to do is take the kids to a hospital, drop them off.
And this is going to happen a lot more, sadly. Sadly, this is going to happen a lot more because of the new laws that have changed. Listen, man. Y'all trolling these sisters now. Oh, Roe v. Wade got overturned. Ha, ha, ha. This is going to happen a lot more. Like the glider said, sister. Just drop them off at the fire station or something, man. Give them a chance.
I'm just glad they got out. For that woman to do that is just unbelievably selfish.
Yeah.
I mean, all she had to do is take the kids to a hospital, drop them off.
Fire crews got the flames under control and found the remaining children inside. 2 of them were dead at the scene, while medics rushed 3 others to the hospital to be treated for their injuries. But one of those children later died.
There's nothing about that made sense anywhere, anyhow.
No. On Saturday, residents with heavy hearts stopped by the home that is now a crime scene, leaving flowers and toys by the mailbox.
What do you think that says about this community?
That they care.
Neighbors.
Now that's a community. And listen, I'm not trying to troll some people and say gliders are better. But you never hear them use the word community. You never hear them use the white community. You never hear that term. They just do it. But the people you hear talking about community, every single time you hear the word, when you hear the word community in public discourse, it's being said by a Sun person probably 98% of the time. And the other 2% is a pasty liberal. And they don't know nothing about a community.
Inside, 2 of them were dead at the scene, while medics rushed 3 others to the hospital to be treated for their injuries. But one of those children later died.
There's nothing about that made sense anywhere, anyhow.
No.
On Saturday, residents with heavy hearts stopped by the home that is now a crime scene, leaving flowers and toys by the mailbox.
What do you think that says about this community?
That they care.
Neighbors say they have started a GoFundMe account to help with funeral costs, and their focus now is showing support for the family that lost everything. Brister is currently in custody without bond. We're told she's facing charges of malice murder, and there could be additional charges as the Paulding County Sheriff's Office continues its investigation. Her first appearance in court is scheduled for Monday at 9 a.m. In Rockmart, Joy Dukes, Fox 5 News.